Welcome to Diplomatic Passport on Zim Papers Television Network, that daily weekday COVID-19 show that keeps you up to date with developments the world over in the region and of course in Zimbabwe. I'm Robert Mkondiwa. Of course, yesterday we were on our rooftop. We're back in our beloved studio to wrap up what has been a pretty eventful week. But as always, we start by taking a look at Zimbabwe's COVID-19 cases as of the latest data released by the Ministry of Health and Childcare Zimbabwe. So the country now has 6,678 confirmed cases of coronavirus, including 206 deaths and 5,263 recoveries, which keeps our national recovery rate at 79.9%. 40 new cases were recorded in the last 24 hours, and those include 5 local transmission cases, 1 returnee from Botswana, and 34 returnees from South Africa, who of course have all been isolated. Harare still remains the epicenter with 2,555 cases, followed by Bulawayo, which now has 1,289 cases of COVID-19. Now, in the face of these numbers, newly sworn-in Harare City Mayor Jacob Mafume, in his inaugural speech, said that we all need to ensure that we survive this pandemic through combined effort. He said that his council should not forget the core business of service delivery, because the public will need things to be in place and order when we return to the old normal one day, hopefully soon.
This man, is it Jack Ma, who said that we have cancelled out 2020, everyone must survive. We as a city have to survive. The priority is to make sure that issues of corona, the COVID, issues of the economic problems that we have do not drown the city. What we have to do is to ensure that we survive as a city. Our priority is to make sure that when free movement begins, when people start to live their lives as before, they will find the city going forward and better. So the priority at the present moment for Harare and for everyone in the world and business is to survive. And we will have to survive. That is to ensure that we keep the water flowing, refuse being collected, the city growing in terms of jobs and places to live, and our roads network, and all the other services that we've been trying to give to the residents up to now.
Jacob Mafume there, who was elected as the Harare mayor. Now, speaking of wanting life to return to the old normal, a song by dancehall artist Fidel Country Boy Tangai Bawa went viral as he was calling on the authorities to prioritize the reopening of bars. And of course, that's a great Friday story. Now, in the song, he acknowledges how the government has opened some sectors of the economy, but he however suggests that they should open bars first before schools. He expresses this sentiment better than us in his song. So let's take a listen to this song that has gone rather viral.
Ndichiti corona kasi unondishura nekuda kwekupresha ndanga ndarisuwa ungandidaro ini ndishuwa mavhura bhawa tovhura bhodha kuitira kuenda kunohodha puta ndamupa odha nezvimwe zvibhodhoro zvichabva chosa tangai bhawa ukuru wangu ndaswapa.
That has gone viral. Of course, he's asking that the bars be reopened. But of course, seeing one of those clips where he doesn't have a shirt on, you would think he was going to advocate for the opening of restaurants first, so that we get good meals to fill us up and put on a bit of weight. Now, well, it seems that government may have gotten wind of his request, but sadly, it's not good news for Fidel Country Boy, as the government says it has no plans to open bars and nightclubs yet because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, Tourism and Hospitality Industry Minister Mangaliso Ndlovu said while his ministry was pushing for restaurants to have their operating hours extended, the discussion to open bars and nightclubs had not yet taken place in the relevant offices. Bars and nightclubs in Zimbabwe have been closed for the past 5 months, but the sale of alcohol in supermarkets is, and for all intents and purposes, we should know this, especially for a Friday, we are allowed to buy our beers in the supermarkets.
On bars and nightclubs, I didn't know I should be the one commenting on that. But what I must just say is that selling of alcohol is not banned. What is banned is consuming it in a bar or in a public place. You buy your alcohol and you consume it at home. For now, this is what is allowed at law.
Now, as social beings, of course, we yearn for those gatherings we used to have, but under the circumstances, we should forego these comforts. Let Them Be Trust's planned annual School Arts Festival, which was slated for the 3rd and 4th of July 2020 at the Harare Polytechnic College soccer grounds, which they had cancelled due to the COVID-19, will now go on in the form of an online festival. Now, the Let Them Be Trust event is something that we've been seeing happen every year. It's an annual event, and a lot of people look forward to it, especially on the school and university's calendar, because it really helps us to let our head down, as it were. Now, in an interview with ZTN, Let Them Be Trust Director Chidom Sasiwa said that the festival is a 2-day event where they invite schools from all over Zimbabwe to come and attend or participate in various categories. But this year, some of the participants will have to submit their acts online. Let's hear her speak.
And because of COVID, we can't obviously get people together in one space as we would have done before. So with schools closed, it's an annual schools arts festival. What we've done is that we've approached the school teachers to then, notify some of their school kids. And then we're also approaching upcoming and renowned artists that also want to be a part of it, because we always include them anyway. And then like people in the industry that are like Music Crossroads, College of Music, so that we interview them so that we can then put that on the online festival. So all those kids that want to pursue a career in the arts will get to know where they can go. So we're basically taking the same model as we would have done on the festival, but then now just putting it online with pre-recorded material. We've now made it international, so we've reached out as far as we can in terms of trying to get content that will then piece together to then make it into one festival.
Now, if you're just joining us, this is the show that you're watching. Now, of course, as you know, this Let Them Trust show that we're talking about is one that usually is not a virtual show. But this year they've decided to make it virtual. There are a number of things that people would be looking forward to enjoy. And of course, those have had to be put either online or totally on hold. But one of the things that we really are happy about here at Zim Papers Television Network is that one of our longtime partners, Say What, has always been standing with us, and we've brought the schools debate, that's the universities debate, last year. This year we had penciled in the universities quiz, and a lot of you have been asking when that quiz will come on, and of course we've been having those shuttle meetings between us and of course Say What, and we're glad to tell you that now it's no longer a case of coming soon. We now have the dates, and because we've got this whole studio and we've got even a bigger overflow, we're now going to be having that not as a virtual idea, but rather the universities are going to be coming through here to Zim Papers Television Network, and we're going to announce the dates today on this show. And certainly all around we will be having 10 universities, no less, 10 universities from the 10 different provinces in the country. And of course, for more information, let's look towards this, because you've not seen it anywhere before, and this is the absolute first time you're getting all the details for the much awaited Say What schools, or rather universities quiz. Hi, I'm Robert Mkundiwa. Join me on Zimpapers Television Network when we delve in the minds of university students from 10 of the major institutions around Zimbabwe in the Universities Quiz, proudly sponsored by Say What. And we shall be broadcasting this on the ZTN platforms and the Say What platforms. Join us. So there you have it. I rushed to the top of the building and I gave you that little advert. It's the 14th to the 15th of this month. So that's a Monday and a Tuesday. So look out for that. And I know that all around the country and at those 10 institutions, those teams are now actively preparing to lift that trophy and become the best of the best in the Say What quiz contest, the Universities Quiz. And of course, we like to thank Say What for continuing to be our partners. But right now, you're on Diplomatic Passport, and now the combined effort of what will help us to sail through the pandemic of coronavirus, acts by anti-maskers weaken our efforts to manage the spread of the COVID-19. Now, Germany is experiencing the worst of this anti-mask movement as there have been mass protests in Berlin. The numbers of people which were seen on the streets in a new feature by DW News is not a great sight at all, and here's a bit from that coverage.
We are free people, chants this crowd. During the coronavirus pandemic, they say wearing a mask and adhering to restrictions is violating that freedom. And it seems thousands agree. A mixture of conspiracy theorists, far-right figures and citizens concerned by the economic effects of the lockdown took to the streets of Berlin to say the coronavirus has been a false alarm. That's just plain scare tactics. I don't see any danger. I don't know any sick people. I knew many sick people in March, skiers, vacationers. There was really something going on in February, but now there's no sick people anymore.
An interview there by Deutsche Welle, which of course is capturing the anti-maskers and how they're not happy, of course, with being made to wear masks. Now, the BBC also reported that one of the largest protests that took place in Berlin numbered close to 40,000 people, no less. And you can imagine the risk that these people are exposing themselves to. Now, humanitarian workers are hidden heroes in the fight against COVID-19 because much of their work is done in remote areas which most camera lenses never reach. Now, here on Diplomatic Passport, we make it a priority to appreciate their efforts and also give them a voice. Now, here's more Blessing Manyalo, who has been camped and working at the Tongogara Refugee Center, where they have been ensuring supply of water to 15,000 occupants of that camp. Now, let's hear her speak on her experiences on the front lines.
It's been scary in the sense that you are putting your life at risk every day. Also, to have at the same time, the paradox is you have to save other lives by, for example, providing water, daily supply of water within the camp, such a big camp with approximately 15,000 occupants. So it's really difficult to then stay at home and say, I need to be safe, yet at the end of the day, you need to provide essential services for the persons of concern. So in as much as it is scary, I've also tried to gather up the courage to be at work every day, as well as to be cautious and try as much as I can to avoid human interaction, as well as making sure that I'm keeping myself safe by washing my hands and doing social distance, the social distancing that is needed within the workplace, as well as when you are out there trying to also figure out the water supplies within the camp. So it's, in as much as it is scary, it's also a chance to give back to a bigger community and do something that is bigger than yourself.
Now, so that will be all for this week. It's a wrap for this eventful week. Keep your contributions coming to my Twitter handle at ZimRobbie, that's ZIMROBBIE, and my email address, robinkundiwa@gmail.com. From me, Robert Mkundiwa, the team that's been supporting us throughout the week, and my TD today, Tapio Matindike. Have a great evening. Have a great weekend. Stay at home, stay safe, and until Monday, enjoy yourself.